And we're back! Welcome to Fetch Quest. My name is Joshua, and I want to share the top 5 mods in Baldur's Gate 3 I'm currently using. I've completed the game mostly following the quote-unquote good choices. Maybe I accidentally sent a certain gnome flying off a windmill, who knows. But for my second playthrough, I wanted to shake things up a bit, choosing a more chaotic or evil path and using characters I didn't use the first time. So this video will be free from any story spoilers for those of you just getting started, so everything will be demoed in Act 1 locations. Also, for anyone wanting to learn how to mod the game on PC, rest assured I'll share a tutorial at the end. The beauty of mods is the amazing modding community who put in countless hours to develop something everyone can use for free. You can donate to any of the creators if you so choose, and I know they'd greatly appreciate it. Starting at number 5, we have Better Loot by Drake0713. I like the way the description reads, which is that it gives you advantage on all loot rolls, and that's the best way to explain it. As you traverse the world in Baldur's Gate 3, there are a plethora of crates and chests and barrels and various other containers, not to mention multiple merchants scattered throughout. This mod affects new loot rolls, meaning it's best used at the start of a new playthrough since the game hasn't loaded in the loot rolls for the region you're in, but it still works regardless. I'm in my second playthrough and I implemented this a few hours into the game and I've still seen its effects. It maximizes loot rolls, so merchants, drops, and containers always have the most items they could have possibly rolled in the vanilla game without the mod. Let me explain. In the version I'm using, if a crate has 0 items and is empty without the mod, you're just playing the original vanilla game, that crate will still be empty with this mod enabled. But if a crate had, let's say, a dagger for my specific loot roll, and it could have given me 2 more items, this mod ensures that that crate will have 3 items for me. So maybe it's the dagger, plus 2 healing potions, I don't know. Merchants will also carry their maximum allotment of gear and items, meaning you'll see some items you normally wouldn't. The creator tries balancing this by making more powerful gear more expensive, so while you may see it in their inventory, you may not be able to afford it. The creator has different versions of the mod available, so there's the standard implementation, then there's the version that forces every container to have some sort of an item. There are no empty containers ever. It makes looting more fun, whether it's your first time playing or your 100th time playing. So now you can go wild clicking on every single vase that you see while you're dungeon delving, and with that second variation, you're gonna find something in every single one of them. At number 4 on my list, we have 2 mods by Antimax. Basket Full of Equipment and Basket Equipment to Camp Clothing. These were some of the very first mods I downloaded and I've never looked back. Basket Full of Equipment adds over 800 pieces of new armor and equipment for the Safe for Work version, and over 1,000 for the version you may want to keep out of sight for kiddos and grandparents. This mod adds a ton of armors, gloves, helmets, weapons, and more. The creator wanted to make sure you can customize the look of your party and not be too concerned with the stats varying. For example, a robe from this mod has the same stats as heavy armor, and the armors have stats that adapt to player armor proficiency level. So it's a fun way to change up the look of your party, but isn't exactly balanced, so I definitely recommend this on your second playthrough or on tactician mode for more of a challenge. There are also dyes and spells, so check it out for yourself and play around with the multitude of combinations. Now the second one, Basket Equipment to Camp Clothing, is an add-on to the previous mod that converts all Basket Full of Equipment armor and cloak slot items to camp clothing, and boots slot items to camp shoes. What this does is your basket armor from the previous mod no longer has armor stats. It only works with Basket Full of Equipment enabled, and I recommend it if you are mainly interested in the visuals of your party. You can keep your character's standard armor, but have them look completely different and retain the same stats if you like. The reason I like these mods is it has enhanced my camp life experience, having everyone wearing something unique that I didn't see in my original playthrough. Coming in at number 3, we have Feats Upgraded by Sinde. I love this mod. It truly allows for greater customization of your party, especially when paired with the number 1 mod I'll share coming up soon. Feats in the vanilla game are great, and I admit it adds a layer of complexity that really makes you think hard about what you choose. They come up every 4 levels typically, so what that did was, let's say you wanted to multi-class into Rogue and get the Thief's extra bonus action at level 3. Where you might want to switch back to another class the next time you level up, you're sort of pigeonholed into sticking with Rogue to get it to level 4, just so you can select a feat. So what this mod does is it helps alleviate that tension a little bit, and also somewhat makes your characters a little OP, like just a little. It's not game breaking, but you'd notice it for sure. Rather than giving you a feat option every time you level up, and I believe there is a mod for that, what it does is it adds +1 to your ability score for any feat you select. If you were stuck between choosing whether to gain heavy armor proficiency or increase your charisma to 18 for your bard with the ability score feat, you're now able to select the heavy armor proficiency feat and also increase a stat of your choice. In this case, charisma, maybe raising it from 17 to 18. So in one feat, you were able to select heavy armor and also get your charisma to that next modifier. Definitely check it out if you're running a harder difficulty or just looking for more flexibility in your character builds. The number 2 mod I have in this list I recently discovered, and that's Show Approval Ratings and Dialogue Choices by Napper234. It does what it says. Alright, let's move on to number 1. I'm just kidding. I want to give this mod the respect it deserves, and it's super cool. It adds approval ratings to the end of every dialogue choice that affects approval rating. You trying to get Asterion to fall in love with you? Which shouldn't really be that hard. This mod tells you what he will like and not like. Are you trying to get Lae'zel to hate you even more than she already does? You can make that easier on yourself with this mod. I can honestly say it has aided me in my evil, chaotic run to select certain options that allow me to be the bad guy, but still keep positive approval ratings with my party. Not all the time, but most of the time. I highly recommend this mod if you're looking for some additional guidance with your dialogue choices to help you throughout the game. And drum roll please for number 1 on my list of mods I'm currently using. It's pretty much every Unleashed class mod by creator Imharius or Maharius. You see it there on the screen. These are absolutely incredible, and Imharius has done a terrific job with these. Shout out to you. It honestly has made my experience better since I have even greater flexibility with my party due to quote-unquote unleashing that class's inner strength. So paired with the feats upgraded, that was number 3 in this list, my team has never been better. What's even more impressive is each mod has different options to suit your playstyle. Let's take a look at Cleric Unleashed. Maybe you didn't use a cleric before, or you did and you felt they were a little underwhelming. With this mod, you can tweak their level 1 options. Extra spell slot, gain the Disciple of Life feature, proficiency with martial weapons, the Sentinel feat, and maybe for some razzle-dazzle, you add the War Priest feature. Not to mention, you can include smites and alert if you wanted at level 1. This allows you to have a melee-focused cleric that doesn't force you to select the war domain. And hey, if you just wanted a small buff, you can get 1 extra spell slot and heavy armor proficiency, and that's it. Oh, and not to mention all of the different Unleashed variants for races as well. Yes, there are variants of the Unleashed mod for gnomes, halflings, dwarves, and the one I downloaded Yankee Unleashed, since I didn't use Lae'zel on my first playthrough, but I am on my second. And just look at all these options. The customization is endless, and I cannot stress this enough. It allows you to play how you want to play. You gain a few bonuses so you can focus on developing other aspects of your character. The one I'm using makes Giths have Yankee parry and psychic resistance. And I believe this applies not only to your own party, but enemies as well. Somebody fact check me on that. But you can give them relentless endurance, savage attack, dark vision. You can increase their carry weight, etc. The combo of unleashing a class and unleashing a race truly makes the game feel not quite like a brand new game, but it makes the experience feel new. Couple that with seeing cutscenes and dialogue that I didn't see the first time, since I'm going down a dark path, these mods have really enhanced Baldur's Gate 3 for me, and I think they will for you too. Granted, these aren't the only mods I'm using. I'm actually using quite a bit. There's a lot of other mods out there that add different races that are not available in the vanilla game and additional classes that are not available, so feel free to check those out on Nexus Mods. This concludes my top 5 mods for BG3. Let me know in the comments what mods you're using or any suggestions you have for the community down below. I sincerely hope this video was fun or entertaining for you, and if it was, feel free to like it. And hey, maybe you also subscribe if you haven't already. I'll finish out this video with a quick tutorial on how to mod the game, so if you already know, I'll catch you guys later. Don't forget to do some fetch quests of your own. And for everyone else, here we go. I'll reference this bbomb.com article and include the link down below, as well as show you my own computer so I can walk you through it and you can visually see. Now, the way I downloaded and installed mods was using the BG3 mod manager. This article does walk you through how to use Vortex. I did not go that route, so I assume these steps will help you out if you wanted to try it out. So let's go ahead and start with the mod manager. There is a link here to a GitHub page for the Baldur's Gate 3 mod manager. I've already done so, but let me just show you. You click here, mod manager, grab the latest release. You can click this link. Just go ahead and go into the application, save it to your desktop or somewhere easily accessible because you'll be referencing it a lot. Now, just like the article says, this mod manager will detect your game data and your mod folder path. It did for me at least, but if you wanted to check it out for yourself or for some reason it didn't detect where your game is located, you can open up the mod manager. As you can see, I have a lot. You go to settings, open preferences, and here's your game data and executable path. So just make sure it's picking up your Baldur's Gate 3 game, the data path. Now the fun, you can start searching for whatever mods you'd like to use. Just do a little Google search, Nexus Mods, Baldur's Gate 3, or anything similar. It'll show up in your results. Just go ahead and click into it, and it'll take you to the homepage for Baldur's Gate 3 within Nexus Mods. It's a great resource. The community is amazing. You can sort by what are the brand new mods that just came out recently, new this week. Some of the mods you may use will require kind of a base patch or base mod to be downloaded first. Improved UI, release ready, and Baldur's Gate 3 mod fixer are two of those that a lot of the mods you're going to use will require. And Nexus Mods will let you know. When you're ready to download a mod, just click into it. It'll default to description. You make sure to read up on what the author, what the creator has included, any instructions. The majority of the time, it's very informative. It has all the answers you'll need in order to correctly use the mod. So after you read the description, you can also view images associated with it just to get a better idea of what the mod does. This particular one can dye all of your armor black. Let's say I'm ready to download. I go to Files, and typically the one you'll want to download is under Main Files. Some mods will also have optional. Again, just read up on which ones you want to include. For example, with Yankee Unleashed, Remember I said there was a whole bunch of options here. If we go to the files, there's 13 files. And so you would just select which one you want to download. You can use Mod Manager Download. I like having a little bit more control over my downloads. So I do manual download. So let me demonstrate that now. You'll click manual download and this page will show up. Now again, Nexus Mods is free. You just create an account. You don't have to pay anything. But all you need to do is click slow download, but the download has already occurred. It was very fast. All you need to do is open up the zip file and look for the .pack, the pack file. This is the file that you need to drag into your mod folder for your game. As the article shows, usually this is the path that your mod folder exists in. Your mods folder usually will be found within app data, and sometimes it's hidden. If you can see here, it's kind of grayed out. The folder icon is a little grayed out. You can go to View, Show, Hidden Items, find Larian Studios, Baldur's Gate 3, and Mods. So here are all of mine that I've downloaded. And all you would need to do is bring over this pack file into your mods folder. Now, I already have it in here. Yeah, I don't need to replace it. I already have it in there. But once it's there, you can go back to the Baldur's Gate 3 mod manager. You would click refresh. I don't have anything new, but everything that's brand new that you just downloaded and put into that mod folder will show up in this right side. Just make a note, the right side is inactive mods and the left side are the active mods. So everything shows up on the right. You have to drag them over to the left. You can shift click and you can bring them over if you'd like. Just like so. You can bring everything over in one fell swoop. So once you've moved over into the active mods, those that you wish to use, you're not quite done yet, but you're close. You have to ensure that you export the order to the game. Now, what I get into the habit of doing is I save this order. That way, every time I close it out and reopen it, it shows it just like I last had it. I don't have to change anything. So I save the order and then I export the order to game. It happens in an instant. You don't have to wait for a prolonged period of time. Save the order, export the order to the game, and then all you do is load up the game. Keep in mind, some mods will require that you have them in a particular order. For example, the basket equipment mod has to load before the basket equipment camp clothing in order to work properly. And again, usually in the description or in the file tab, if that is the case, the author will let you know. Now we can boot up the game. This message may display. We've detected a data mismatch, which may be caused by unsupported mods, yada yada. This is pretty standard. You might also read that in the description of some of the mods. This has in no way negatively affected my experience. Your experience may vary, but apparently this is standard and it's perfectly fine. But I hope this was helpful. Try out some of these mods. Again, in the comments, let us know. I don't check the mods every single day, so there's multiple mods that are coming out I'm not even aware of, that I don't know exist, but maybe you do. So if you have a really good and fun experience, share that in the comments, help out the community, and I just love to see how you're playing your game. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I have not yet edited this, but I'm sure it's a fairly long video, so if you are here at the very end, thank you very much. And don't forget to go do some fetch quests of your own, because sometimes the rewards are worth it. Bye, y'all.